Since when do people get high on insulin?
Houdini thought he could get away with anything. I just hope you don't feel the same way.
Code yellow. 6123 east. Code yellow.
I wasn't prepared for this conversation.
Sit down. Look. Losing Sam must have been very terrible. I mean, the two of you had just started a life together. And it may not be my place to say this, but I don't think that Sam would have wanted you to build a cocoon around yourself after he was gone.
You have no idea what he would have wanted from me.
Well, then prove me wrong. See, when somebody truly cares about someone, they want that person to live in the present.
And I'm living in the past, pining away over what could have been. I have put my life back together, and it's not for you to define.
But I am in your life, Ellen. And you've cared about me from the beginning. I could feel it. And I can still feel it.
Caring for you is one thing. One thing, Matt. It can be friendship, it can be mutual respect. Why do you insist that I feel something more?
Because I saw your face when you came to my apartment. Because of the way you took care of me when Bobby was after me. Because of the way you kissed me when you thought I'd disappear out of your life. But see, you're the one that's leaving. You're never gonna have to see me again. So I want to know, have I been fooling myself?
Oh, God, you mean so many things to me. And I have lost count how many times I've wanted to run to you, to touch you, to tell you how I feel. And that is why I came to your apartment that night, because I finally had the courage. And when Grace came out, I felt like I'd been kicked in the stomach.
I'm sorry.
This makes me angry with you.
That's okay.
No, it's not okay. What good can my telling you this bring? I am leaving.
Are you running?
Doesn't matter. It wasn't easy coming to this decision, but once I did, I felt it was right for me. And I had to go.
You know, I've always wanted to spend my life with one person. But I think I'd rather spend one night with you than my entire life with anyone else.
You know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually starting to miss Burgess. At least she didn't make us dress up like clowns.
That's not really a stretch for you, Chris.
You know, we're supposed to be having a good time.
You know what? I didn't come here to have a good time.
Well, then you picked the wrong person to call.
What are you, some cruise director or something?
Look, when these things happen, you're supposed to at least try and make a fresh start. So why'd he dump you anyway?
He didn't dump me. I dumped him.
Get out of here.
I did.
Well, then you must have won the sweepstakes or something, because I don't know a woman alive who would give up a guy like Scott Baldwin all that money he has.
That's the most important thing to you, isn't it, Chris? To be rich enough to finally mail order a bride.
Look, God help me if I'm going soft, but even I wouldn't break up with a guy like Scott Baldwin if I liked him as much as you did. What was the point?
It's personal.
Well, work it out, will you? Going out with you is like sitting at a wake.
All right, that's enough. Can we change the subject, please? Death is not exactly high on my list of topics these days.
Okay. Then here's to Eve Lambert. May she forget all about Scott Baldwin, live single, and prosper.
That's a depressing toast.
Trust me, Eve. Attachment to anyone is overrated.
You've made me happier tonight than I've ever been in my whole life. I want to be as close to you as possible.
to say or do anything wrong.
You can. I want to make love to you.
I want you to.
Are you nervous?
Yes.
Don't worry. You'll be safe with me, okay?
I know.
What are you doing here by yourself?
Scott and I finished for the night.
You making something?
I baked a cake. I'm waiting for it to cool so I can frost it.
A little late for baking. Where is everybody? This place is usually like Grand Central Station.
My mom is at her hotel. Lark started back at Mario's. Eve is on a date, and Joe and Karen are at the hospital.
Yeah, I saw 'em. This is too good to be true.
The cake will be ready in about 20 minutes.
I'm not hungry. I have been having this fantasy all day, driving me crazy, and here you are in an apron.
A Betty Crocker fantasy?
You are much sexier than Betty. And in my fantasy, you didn't have anything on under the apron.
That can be arranged. Why don't we go downstairs?
In my fantasy, the house was empty. You were all alone.
Frank.
I came home and found you in the kitchen.
Don't you want to go down to my place?
That's not the way it went. I wanted you here.
Coming. You're right. The dress does look better wet.
I swore that I would never feel this way about another man.
I swore that I would not feel this way about another girl.
Then we're even.
I'm sorry.
Are you thinking about Sam?
You know, for a long time it was grief that kept me from being with someone new. Deep inside, there was some part of me that felt making love to another man was betraying Sam, even though he was dead.
Well, you loved him very much.
But it's been so long, I should be able to move on.
You know, I've had to leave a lot of people in my life, Ellen. I've learned two things. You have to build with whatever life hands you. And that love between two people, it never really dies, you know, even when someone goes away.
And even if that love is there, it doesn't mean that there isn't room for someone else. I am ready.
you have a nice walk?
Not really.
Is something wrong, Monk?
Are you sure you told me everything about what happened at that picnic? There's nothing else?
Nothing more to tell.
I spoke to the Jasmine Island police about the woman who died that day.
Whatever for?
They told me that death was no accident. It was murder.